Good morning, I'm Maisie Stearns and I'm head girl. Welcome to Madam Chairwoman Anita Adams, who is with us remotely today, Mrs. Cuniff and Miss Cox, parents, staff and pupils on this wonderful celebration of achievement in the infant and junior school. After this rather strange year, it is wonderful to be able to celebrate all that the pupils in the infant and junior school have achieved and to mark the end of another academic year. We extend a very warm welcome to everyone who is tuning into this event live, and to those of you who may be watching this on a catch-up basis later on today. While it is disappointing that we are not able to gather in person, the live broadcast element not only adds a little risk to our performance, it also means that we can share today with a wider audience than an in-event person may have allowed. What has become so clear to me at LVS is the general theme of getting involved, giving anything a go and just getting stuck in. The opportunities here are endless. It doesn't matter if you've never picked up a hockey stick or you're scared of performing on the stage, because you're really supported and encouraged while success is celebrated. As a school, we should be extremely proud of how we have taken new COVID measures in our stride and supported each other as a community. A massive well done must go to every junior school student for persevering, staying positive, and getting through this academic year. For those of you moving to senior school next year, very best wishes. I feel privileged to have had the opportunity to spend the last 7 years here at LVS. And as I leave school, my advice to you all is make the most of all the opportunities on offer. You just won't regret it. We hope that you enjoy this morning and have a wonderful summer break when it arrives. Thank you.
Good morning. I must have written about 5 versions of this speech. Each time the guidance and the plans have changed, my words have also changed. But finally, here we are, almost together, to celebrate the end of another school year. Wherever you may be listening to this, in the classrooms, at home, or possibly even from work, we hope you feel that we are together in spirit. This is not the way we had hoped that this year would end, but today our circumstances are beyond our control. And as I frequently tell the children, there are many things in life that we are unable to control, but we can always manage our attitudes and our spirits. I have thought long and hard about the focus of my address to you this morning, wanting to acknowledge the past 16 months, but also wishing to look forwards has made it quite tricky. So what I've decided to do is to focus on what we take from this experience in the most positive way possible. Generally speaking, humans love to plan. We are very good at making lists and checklists and ensuring that we're on top of whatever is happening in our lives and when it is happening. Certainly, as a full-time working mum of 3, I can argue that the routine and planning that goes into our lives on a weekly basis could rival the Army Logistics Corps at times. And without this level of thought, it is quite possible that my children would be scattered in all corners of the southeast of England, with or without a responsible adult. However, if we have learnt nothing else over the last 16 months, we have learned that planning meticulously for events doesn't necessarily mean that they will happen in the way that we had hoped, or indeed happen at all. and it has led me to explore the power of uncertainty in presenting new opportunities for development and progress. Don't get me wrong, planning and preparation are very important. This practice is key to creating a structure that leads to successful outcomes. But sometimes life doesn't go to plan. Sometimes, despite our best efforts, life has its own plan. It goes differently than we could have ever predicted, and always seeking certainty can, at times, inhibit our ability to innovate and take risks. Throughout this pandemic, we have encouraged you all to look for the positives rather than thinking about the things we've missed out on. In whatever we do, we will never succeed if we lack the will and the perseverance to hurdle obstructions which get in our way. Before the first lockdown in March 2020, the school had started its journey towards embedding technology into lessons. As Mrs. Cuniff has said many times, this was supposed to be a phased plan, set out over a period of time, carefully thought out to pace change for everyone. And then, on the 23rd of March 2020, we all went home. Overnight, the certainty of the plan we had in place changed, and every single child and teacher in the school had to find a new way of learning and developing. Those early days of online learning now seem like a lifetime ago. The range of new skills and techniques taken on board were vast, and there were many late nights and early mornings as we worked together to make things better. At this point, we had not considered a bring your own device policy for pupils younger than Year 6. We thought they were too young. We thought it would be too complicated. We thought it would be too great a responsibility for them to handle every day. But how wrong we were. Uncertainty led to progress, a better way. It disrupted our thinking patterns and established belief systems and led us to the conclusion that blended learning is absolutely the key to providing all our children, from reception upwards, with the skills they need to succeed long term. For some of our children, it has literally unlocked hidden talents and skills, and for others, it has enabled greater levels of creativity to emerge. And as we move forwards with our themed approach to learning, these devices are becoming powerful tools facilitating both challenge and independence. The pandemic has also brought uncertainty to our children in other ways. The normal pattern of childhood experience has been disrupted. We have become attuned to adjusting plans at the very last minute. For some of our young people, the rites of passage to the next phase of their lives have been taken away. Events they assumed to be a certainty at a fixed point were suddenly cancelled, with little chance of a replay. But still, all those young people moved on. They achieved, they developed, and I suspect that they will be stronger in the future for this experience. Why? Because life is about change all the time, and people who can adapt to change and still find the positive are the people who will make an impact and they will make a difference. Today, we are surrounded by children who have shown their capacity to do just that. So I ask you at this point to give a round of applause to the amazing young people that make up our community. Each and every one of them has looked forwards rather than backwards. They have embraced change, and they have demonstrated every one of our learning values and skills in abundance. With every change of circumstance, they have listened, they have suggested, they have reflected, and then they have turned their attentions to being the best that they can be. They have all learnt lessons that can never be taught in the classroom, and while much has been said in the media about the need for children to catch up, here at LVS we dispute this suggestion. Our pupils have not only made good progress academically this year, they have made phenomenal progress in terms of their life skills, and they will enter the next phase of their education with a much greater willingness to do things differently and to embrace uncertainty because of this experience. I'm sure that many parents listening today have had the certainty of their working lives disrupted to some extent as well. Whether that's the daily commute to work, the routine of the working week, or indeed the very fabric of your employment. But I am also confident that through this, you will have discovered new ways that are an improvement on old patterns, which you may never have questioned without the arrival of COVID. There are many things I look forward to returning to normal, but I do hope the renewed understanding of the importance of human contact, affection, companionship, and the power of the family will remain with us all. While technology has allowed us to carry on learning and stay connected in many ways, it can never replace a hug, the touch of a hand, or a reassuring smile from someone we love. And I hope that this understanding will stay with our children too. Texts, FaceTime, Snapchat, they're wonderful, but sharing laughter, experiences, and memories with those who are dear to us will beat those things every single time. Just within our own school community, we have families and members of staff who've re-evaluated their life and their goals during this period. To all of you leaving our school today to follow your dreams and to pursue new lives elsewhere, we wish you well. We will miss you, and we hope that LVS has given you fond memories and a sense of community that you will take with you wherever you go. Miss Rundle has been an incredible teacher to so many children since she's been at the school. She is off to New York in August to teach and to have the adventure of a lifetime. And I hope her courage to make such a change in her life will be an inspiration to some of our children as they grow older. Mrs. Powell has already moved to Dorset. She's been admirably commuting since April. She's loving her new home, her access to the beach and long country walks, and has supported so many of our children. Her impact has been significant and she'll be missed. And Mrs. Rawlinson, who's taking a very early retirement. To not have her as my right hand next year will be so strange. I will miss her incredibly, and her service to LVS and to your children has been dedicated and full of care and compassion. We wish her every happiness in her new life, and we will look forward to seeing her visit in the future. To the pupils leaving LVS Infant and Junior School this week and moving to their senior schools or other schools elsewhere in the country, I know that you will all be experiencing that feeling of uncertainty right now. You will continue to do so until the new term starts, new friendships are made, and new routines established. We hope your time with us has been full of fun, laughter, and challenge. We hope you have learnt more than how to read, write, and add up, that you have learned how to listen, to collaborate, to innovate, to accept responsibility for your progress and your actions, and that within your uncertainty, you are confident that you have the tools and the resilience to succeed. I always give 2 pieces of advice at this point. The first is to be kind, always. And the second is to always do the right thing, even when no one is looking, because that is when it will matter the most. Those 2 qualities will serve you well throughout your lives. We are immeasurably proud of every single one of you, whether you receive an award today or not. This year, you have all encountered obstacles and challenges, and every one of you has climbed out of the learning pit you have found yourselves in over the mountains to see the wonderful view that accompanies true achievement. So to conclude, and before we hand over the prize winning, I need to say some thank yous and pay tribute to the incredible team that I have the privilege to work with every day. Our school succeeds because of the people in it, and I want to acknowledge them for all the work they do to give your children the very best experience they can. There is a huge variety of roles which come together to make this community happy, safe, and nurturing, and each one is truly appreciated. Thank you to our trustees and to our governors who give so freely of their time for their unfailing support, challenge, and advice. Thank you to the children. You make our job so special and rewarding. You are incredible, and I am so proud to be your head teacher, because you all inspire me every day to be the very best that I can be for you. And to the parents listening from afar today, who have entrusted us with the care and education of your children. I know what a huge commitment this is for you. Your support and trust in us is huge, and we promise that despite what is going on in the wider world, we will continue to provide your children with a primary experience that will both protect their childhoods and equip them for life. So the final thing that I have to say to you today, as this year draws to a close and we start to think about the year ahead, is to reveal the new prefect team for 2021-22. It's always an incredibly hard thing to do, and I commend all those children who had the courage to take a risk and to apply, and the self-confidence to attend an interview. It's not easy, but they are skills that will stand you in good stead. So, our head boy next year is Jamie Elliott. Our head girl is Isabel Caveni. The chair of the school council and our charities will be Jacob McKee and Honor Southam. Our heads of Melbourne Break will be Tilly Mae Sampson and Meher Voira. Of Kennington Heart, Millie Cheeseman and Emily Duff. And Buchanan Coburg, Emily Zeitlin and Daniel Mzidi. Our prefect team, Priyan and Isabella, will be prefects with responsibility for the library. Zach Mellows, Alice Gammon, Laura Lopez Haneres, Tamara Jenner, Saskia Jenner, Amber MacDonald, Eva Salmon and Beatrice Ward will make up the rest of our team. Congratulations to you all. I am confident that you will all do your best as ambassadors for our school and as role models for your peers. I wish all of you a wonderful summer break. Stay safe, and I look forward to all that September brings, hopefully without a bubble in sight. Mrs. Rawlinson, would you like to come and do the prizes?
Thank you, Mrs. Cox, and a warm welcome to you all. I'm going to ask if our prize winners can start to line up, please, so that you're ready as I read your names out. So I'm delighted and very proud once again to be able to read out the prize winners for 2021. We're starting off with the Reception Progress Prize, going to Savannah Fan, and the Reception Achievement Prize to Joshua Guy. The Year 1 Progress Prize goes to Ocean Young, and the Achievement Prize to Maria Semeniuk. The Anita Adams Award for Progress throughout the infant school goes to both Ethan Loader and Emily McKee, who are not with us today. The WOW Careers Competition Award goes to Georgie Shitsnava. And the Progress Prizes in Seacole class to Tom Bishop, and the Achievement Prizes to Ruby O'Shea. And more Year 2 Progress Prize goes to Rory McSweeney, and the Achievement Prize in Year 2 Teresa class to Prisha Huda. Okay, we're back up. Yep, Year 3. So a Progress Prize in Attenborough class goes to Drew Stewart, and the Achievement Prize goes to Tabitha Denning. Beg your pardon, that was the Progress Prize. Change the order now. And we've got 2 Achievement Prizes in Year 3, going to Alexia Calitho and Benjamin Cleal. The Royal Masonic Award goes to Amelia Hamilton Martin. And the 2 Year 4 Progress Prizes go to Joseph Olateru and Henry Lewis. The 2 Achievement Prizes in Year 4 go to Avani Baines and Layla McKee. And on to Year 5. Progress Prizes are awarded to Grace Swan, Meher Vora and Yahir Kamal. And the Achievement Prizes go to Caleb Jumner, Anton Travin and Florence Pendlebury. We've got another WOW Careers Competition Award, and this is also awarded to Eva Salmon. Moving on to some of the Year 6 prizes. The Trustee Prize for Year 6 Progress, there are 3 of them in Year 6, go to Tyler Houston, Penny Vincent and Amber Hamilton Martin. And the Year 6 Achievement Awards go to Elliot Cameron, Tilly Kirkham and James Davis. The Alan Quinn Prize for Head Boy and Head Girl go to Oliver Brazier and Ella Lovejoy Cornelius. And can I just add what a fantastic job they've done this year? They really, really have. Prize for Humanities goes to Annabella Burton and the Nolan Prize for English to Emily Strange. The Edgar Lewis Prize for PE and Games goes to Charlie Gowing, and the Clements Prize for Art goes to Chloe Norgate. There are 2 Presentation College Memorial Awards for Science, and they go to Holly Johnson and Evan Cleal. We have 2 Anita Adams Awards for Challenge, Ella Lovejoy Cornelius and Benjamin Hyman. And finally, we have the Anita Adams Prize for Mathematics being awarded to Oliver Brazier, and for Science to Ben Caveni. I'd also like to read out those children that have been awarded a scholarship, and you will be at Year 7 President's Day tomorrow with others, and you'll be receiving them then, but we'd just like to name you now because you've worked so hard this year. So, academic scholarships go to Ben Caveni and Evan Cleal. Emily Strange, Academic and Performing Arts Scholarship. Freddie Murphy, Elliot Cameron, Charlie Gowing, Izzy Campbell, Lola Williamson. What fantastic sports people you are. And we have 4 Performing Arts Scholarships going to Charlotte Gardner-Maher, Addie Hutchinson-Dunn, Elizabeth Bennett and Chloe Norgate. What a talented school we have. I'd now like to invite reception, a very, very special class. We always like to do this during our celebration day. Reception have been with us, many of them for almost a year now, and they're going to come up on stage with Mrs. Cluett and have a very special certificate awarded to each and every one of them. So if we give reception a round of applause as they walk up. Should we give them another round of applause?
So, final things to give out in terms of recognition of achievement are our infant and junior school diploma awards. All of our pupils across the infant and junior school have the opportunity to take part in a programme to develop their learning values and skills in areas outside of the classroom environment, gathering their evidence over numerous things they've done through the years. We award the diploma to those children who have demonstrated in each of the 10 values a level of understanding and commitment. So this year, the recipients of the Junior School Diploma Awards: Bobby Rimmel, Sebastian Starley, Annabella Burton, Eliza Ball, Vienna Cruikshank, George Jacob Lott, Luca Kay, Benjamin Hyman, Holly Wells, Elizabeth Bennett, Addie Hutchinson Dunn, Joshua McFarlane, Emily Strange, Lola Williamson, James Davis, Tom Harris, Evan Cleo, Sadie Lamb, Benjamin Caveni, Noah Perry, Santiago Esquivel Zabib, Finley Paydrick, Elliot Cameron, Holly Johnston, Harry Richardson, Charlie Gowing, Tilly Kirkham, Chloe Norgate, Ella Lovejoy Cornelius, Penny Vincent, William Bell, Oliver Brazier, Robert Charles, Lottie Davis, John Fowler, and Amber Hamilton Martin. Please give them a round of applause. To achieve a diploma, they've had to put considerable time in outside of school hours to demonstrate their understanding and commitment to our learning values, an achievement to be proud of. And now to Year 6, all of you, who are leaving us on Thursday to enter senior school here or elsewhere. I've already wished you well, so now is the time for you to come in your classes to collect your dictionaries as a little gift from us. Take them with you, keep them safe. I still have my dictionary that was given to me at the end of Year 6. It's on that little wooden shelf on my desk, and there's rarely a day that goes by when I don't use it. If you look after it, it will serve you well for many years. So I invite, first of all, Mr. Clayton's class. If you would like to come, collect your dictionaries and your yearbooks, we'll give you a round of applause to wish you well. You've been a fabulous Year 6 this year. It's not been the easiest of years, but you've kept smiling and you've done the job. Did you iron your shirt? I did. Very well done. Thank you. Well done, Year 6. Right, Mr. Matthews' class. Now, unfortunately, Mr. Matthews isn't with us today. Well, he's with us virtually, but he's not with us physically. And I know he's very disappointed to not be here. We can try. You'll try to superimpose a face on their photograph, maybe. All right, Mr. Matthews' class, up you come. Well done to all of you. Big smiles. Well done. That way. And Mrs. Rawlinson's class, up you come. Mrs. Rawlinson's last class, you'll always have a special place in her heart, I'm sure. Yeah. Robert, come this way. That's it. So it clears the table. That's it. Do you want to come this way? Amber, that's it. Lottie, this way. So it clears the space for them to go to the table. That's it. Perfect. Beautiful. Well done, Year 6. Thank you. And now, what's really the highlight of today, I'd like to introduce you to our amazing head boy and head girl. So, Ollie Brazier and Ella Lovejoy Cornelius have done a sterling job this year in quite challenging circumstances, but they haven't been deterred. They have used their initiative, they've used their leadership skills, they have motivated people to take part in competitions and challenges, to raise money for charity. We are incredibly proud of them. So that's their turn now to take the stage. Ollie.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Ollie Brazier and I'm LVS Ascot Junior School head boy, and I've been LVS since reception. As we all come together today to celebrate all the achievements of the junior school, I also wanted to share with you my time here and reflect on the last few years at LVS. Firstly, congratulations to all who have achieved an award today, but to everyone for homeschooling and completing this school year. And as I'm sure we can all agree, it has provided some unexpected challenges. It has been such a different year to when I first started here as a 4-year-old, not wanting to leave my mum on the first day. Mrs. Husband was the person that convinced me that I would like to stay for perhaps just one day by telling me stories of her son and his love for motor racing and go-karts. Since that moment, I have loved my whole time, so far, at LVS. Our school is great and our teachers and staff are even better. In Year 1, science was my favourite lesson. We were looking at the parts in flowers and herbivores, carnivores and omnivores. This I found really interesting. Sadly, spelling tests were introduced. This definitely was not a highlight. Year 2 started the next extra class group and my teacher was Mrs. Izod. One of the first projects we did was to see our plants grow in different places, for example in a dark space with no water. It's strange how differently things can grow in different environments. We also had a superhero week, so we dressed up as superheroes and found out who was stealing all the house points. It was Mr. Dennis, the head teacher at the time. The next year, Year 3, Mrs. Izod remained in charge of our class. Maths and humanities were my favourite subjects. In humanities, we were learning about ancient Egypt and World War II. For both of these, we were asked to dress up as a pharaoh and a child from World War II, but not at the same time. We had our first residential trip in Year 3 at Wild Child Activity Centre. Archery, climbing and no spellings. It was incredible. One day away from parents was awesome. I loved it. Year 4 had a lot to live up to. Year 4, what a year! First of all, there were 2 new teachers in town. The first teacher's name was Mr. Clayton. He was the class teacher for the other class. Mr. Dennis had left to follow his dreams and become a wrestler, true story. Mrs. Cox started as head teacher and replaced him. This year was going to be amazing. My teacher was Mr. Matthews. We had a piano in our classroom and it was played every day, no matter what. Year 4 included a school play, Hoodwinked, where everyone from Year 3 and 4 stepped out of their comfort zones and up to the Brick Vic Theatre to rave reviews, still showing now on YouTube. A new and creative way of learning was introduced. Top secret covert missions delivered from Mr. Matthews and Mr. Clayton via video package. Sadly, the details of these missions have to remain secret, but I can share one of the operation's code names, Operation Bottle Rocket. We had what turned out to be our final residential trip, New Barn. It was amazing. We did a load of activities and the breakfast was brilliant. Year 5, what an interesting year. My class teacher was Mrs. Izod, 3rd time in counting. In humanities, we were learning about Brazil. Everyone in the whole school went to Kidzania and it was awesome to do jobs and have fun. Then the world changed. Coronavirus had appeared and was spreading fast. The Office 365 rollout was perfectly timed and we started home learning. For some people, school became tough because support teachers went from face-to-face to video. This was especially hard for those new students and I think they have done one of the best jobs in the school to cope and use all of our learning values and skills. Kitchens became science labs, contents of the recycling bin became PE equipment, and the rapid learning of OneNote, PowerPoint, Wi-Fi resetting, parental calendar juggling, Microsoft Teams, crawling behind family members, video calls not to appear on screen, made us more resilient, and the phrase, "you're on mute," came up way too many times. It also means that I'm now head of IT support at home. Things were very different. No playground football, no ham-mixed scrambled egg at breakfast club, no pork schnitzel, no swimming, no creative guidance from Mrs. Tuitt's extended day, no parking directions from Mrs. Basham, no sports day and celebration day on the sofa. But we did manage one quick reunion before the summer break to see our friends again, at a safe distance. And so back to school we went for the final year for us at in year 6, and Mrs. Rawlinson, as she retires, all of year 6 got to take part in the Young Tycoon scheme. This was an insight to what a business might look like. But it was not long until we were back online learning again. From my experience, online learning was a lot easier this time around. We knew what we were doing and IT was sorted. Although we've missed out on a few things, it's been great being back at school, mixing with friends again. Before I finish, I would just like to say how thankful we all are for the hard work from everyone at LVS and our community that has allowed us to continue to learn and grow. And I'll finish with a quick poem. Another year has come to an end. Hopefully homeschooling hasn't driven you around the bend. To Mrs. Rawlinson, as you retire, I'm not sure you realise all that you inspire. As Mrs. Cunniff stars on this morning, we are pleased that school is never boring. Mrs. Cox leads the junior school well, for which I'm sure all the students will excel. To all the teachers, old and new, we thank you for all the things you do. And now I'll hand over to Ella.
Boys and girls, welcome to our celebration day. My name is Ella Lovejoy Cornelius and I am head girl of the LVS Infant and Junior School. Wow, what a tough time it has been for all of us, but how lucky are we to be here today? I have thought a lot about the last 2 years and how quickly things can change and how we can adapt. We should all remember how far we have come in the last 2 years, from not being able to see each other to all being here together today. We have all done so well. I asked some school friends for their opinion on how they thought life has been during COVID times. It was really nice to hear the different things people came out with. Lots of comments were made about how we are all proud to be part of the LVS community. We are all friends together and care very much about each other. In COVID times, people were saying be kind, but I think that most people were kind before, and hopefully this will continue. When we were homeschooling, I had time to watch TV whilst I was eating my breakfast. Some days I watched a programme called Morning Britain, and I was inspired by how resilient people can be. There was a 5-year-old boy called Tony Hudgell who had his legs amputated. He did have prosthetic legs, so he set himself a challenge in June to walk 6 miles with his crutches. He wanted to raise £500 for the hospital that saved his life and still cares for him. By being determined and not giving up, he raised over £1 million for the Everline London's Children's Hospital. Harmony Rose Allen, who is 6 years old, set herself to the 2.6 challenge to raise money for Meningitis Now. Harmony Rose doesn't have any arms or legs, but she did running, singing, drawing, swimming, cartwheels and jumped on her trampoline. The doctor said that she may not be able to do these things in her life. She raised over £70,000. Captain Sir Tom Moore was the 100-year-old man who raised almost £33 million for the NHS charities. By walking up and down his garden, he inspired thousands of people to do the 100 challenge. Seeing this has made me realise that anything is possible at any age, and if you have a dream, you should believe in yourself and make it happen. As a community, we have helped others outside of school by raising money for the NHS, taking food and treats to the food bank, and also putting a smile on some faces in the local care homes by delivering some lovely plant pots in colourful pots and sharing some short stories for others to enjoy. We have helped lots of people of all ages, and we should feel very proud and celebrate the kindness we have shown to others and be inspired by what has been achieved by other people. We have all supported each other through this time. Even a simple thing like clapping for the NHS at 8 o'clock on a Thursday became part of normal life. One of everyone's favourite things is being back in school and mixing our bubbles in the playground. It has been so nice to spend time with children in other year groups. We all knew what the LVS learnings stood for, but we probably didn't realise just how much they would be used in every day. I think that we have all done lots of new things very well and been challenged in different ways. For some people, one of the biggest challenges was not being able to come to school and be with our teachers and friends. There was no weekly swimming, no fixtures, no after-school clubs, so it was very different. Some of my friends did come to school whilst their parents worked as key workers, so for them, school life was very different too. They didn't have many people in their classroom and their friends were learning at home. This is when showing empathy and thinking of other people's feelings was really important. I'm sure we were all curious to find out more about how COVID happened and changed the world. Our teachers have worked really hard and been very creative to make homeschool a fun place to learn and achieve our goals. Who thought that having a live PE lesson online would be possible and could be so much fun? Also, having a 2-hour lunch break was something we might have wished for, but not actually thinking it would happen. We have worked independently and had to be resilient, especially when the internet doesn't like your whole family being online at the same time. This taught us how to be patient, never to give up and use our initiative by working on something that didn't need technology. Managing our own time was a challenge to begin with, but it didn't take long to adapt to the new normal. We have learnt to be respectful of each other. I appreciate the time I have spent with my family and made some lovely memories. Lots of people found many different ways to get through lockdown. Some people wanted to exercise more, some people got new pets, some people decided to plant some nice flowers and grow vegetables in their garden, and some people found new hobbies. We can now spend time reflecting on what has happened and remember those who haven't been as lucky as us. You may know someone who has had COVID or lost someone they loved during COVID times. Sadly, the Queen lost her husband, who was also her best friend, and because of COVID, she wasn't able to sit with anyone at the funeral. I am very proud to be part of a school who cares so much about everyone and gives everyone the opportunity to try different things. I see us as one big team, and hopefully when COVID has gone, we can all celebrate together. But for now, can we please thank our teachers, friends and families for getting us through these tough times and always being there for us. Thank you.
Wow, I can't follow that, but well done, Oliver and Ella, for 2 amazing speeches, which I think just draws everything in and wraps everything up for this year, so really well done. And well done, Mrs. Cox. Well done to the school. Oh, I could feel the emotion in your voice. I could feel it coming too. But there's just how I would describe you all. Awesome. And our first aim, our school aim, is that we reflect on the past to meet the challenges of the future. So we've looked back, but now's time to move forward, because I'm mightily excited about the next academic year. In fact, we're going to start planning right now. So look forwards now, and we will have a great time next year, I'm sure. There'll be lots of changes, lots of getting back out on the sports field. We will have that marquee. We will have those events. I refuse to let bubbles be bubbles and they will become champagne once more. There's just one thing I'm going to look back on, though. And that's to say goodbye to Mrs. Rawlinson. And this is when it will really start, because there's only one other person in the theatre here today who's probably been here as long, and that's Mrs. Tui, who sat right in front of me, nodding, is that Mrs. Rawlinson joined LVS in January of 2004 even, not 2014. There's me getting flustered already. And I think at that time, I think in 2003, both Mrs. Tui's daughter, Elizabeth, and mine, Sophia, started in reception. And George and Matthew, Mrs. Rawlinson's boys, were in the junior school with Tom, my eldest. And those days, they feel like yesterday. Those days, you blink and they're gone. And Mrs. Rawlinson has been the most amazing member of staff throughout that whole time. I've really appreciated having Mrs. Rawlinson here. She's seen 5 Secretary of States of Education out, probably another one by the end of the week, maybe. She's seen many changes in management throughout the school. She's always been solid, she's been caring, empathetic, hardworking, and the backbone of the whole school for such a long time. When she came to me and she said, I'm thinking of taking retirement, I just didn't expect it. My mouth just literally dropped open. But I think it's amazing. I think it's a wonderful opportunity. I wish you every success and happiness, Laura. I'm going to personally miss you. Our children will miss you. They still talk about you. You have touched so many hearts and minds, and I wish you every success and happiness. I'd love to know what you're doing there. You're still too young, to be quite honest with you. Well, meet up afterwards, take you out for a drink, find out what you're going to be up to. But let's give Mrs. Rawlinson the most amazing round of applause for outstanding service.
And that draws our celebration day for 2021 to a close. Let's all hope that our celebration day 2022 is back as we would hope it would be. In the meantime, as Mrs. Cunningham says, we're looking forward with excitement, with anticipation and with positivity. You are all amazing. Have the most wonderful, wonderful summer. We send our very best wishes to those of you that are watching this from home. We miss you. Have a great summer and we will see you in September, ready to thrive. Thank you, everyone.